Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of Talk Therapy Through Gaming. Today we're going to play League of Legends again. I just think that for the format that I'm using, that it seems to work. There's enough downtime to tell stories, and I don't have to focus as much. We're drinking coffee. That's good. So today's episode is going to be about the importance of exposing yourself to other cultures, whether that be through traveling or otherwise. And I'll share some of my experience and my stories that I have and how it's impacted me and why I think it's beneficial. So one of the most impactful things that I've had in my life has been when I was young. We had a Japanese exchange student, which by the way, if anyone sees this video and can find this guy, I have been looking for him for a long time and I have lost his contact information, and that's quite upsetting to me. His name was Katsuhiro Kumagai. He was a few years older than I was, and he came over with a, trying to think here, he came over 1 year with an exchange program when I was 7. And he came over with the program through a program, and we took him as an exchange student for the summer. And then he liked our family, and his family seemed to like our family, so they sent him back 6 more years in a row, every single year. And it was just this really cool, unique, interesting thing. And then the 8th year, when I was 13, I went over there and spent the summer over there, and it was just an amazing experience. Uh, I've had the pleasure in my life of being able to travel, even though I haven't had much money. We've always been able to travel to different countries. I've been to Germany, England, Israel, Japan, Canada. So I've been to a few places, and it's always cool to go to a new place and see different cultures and customs. Um, I think one of the things that it really did for me, it really shaped who I was, because Katsuhiro was so different from me, and he taught me a lot about self-discipline, and he taught me a lot about how to view the world differently, and exposed a lot of things that I did that I didn't realize I was doing that were maybe, I don't know, not as good, and helped me to gain some perspective. As the episode goes on, I think what we'll do is I'll tell some of my favorite stories from him being over here, because there's a lot of really funny ones. But for the beginning of this episode, I was thinking that I would give you some perspective when I went over there. So when I went over there, the life was completely different. The house that they lived in was much smaller, but everything was much more localized. The public transportation was the subway, and we rode bikes everywhere, and everyone was really kind to me. And I think there's this idea behind exposing yourself to people that are completely different than you, and doing it in a way that is, you're open-minded about it, that exposes you to parts of yourself that you didn't know were there, and helps you to draw some comparison. I noticed that they do this a lot in movies, where they will have these really extreme characters that are clearly really extreme or have really intense emotions one way or another, either as good guys or bad guys, and then they present you with the reasonable choice. I was thinking about that because I was watching Stranger Things last night, the new season, and they have really extreme characters, and then they present you with the reasonable choice, and the reasonable choice of character is more balanced, and you can tell because of the relative comparison between the two characters. And I often think that I feel that way just when I meet various people that feel differently from me. I'm able to find the middle ground and find some sort of commonality to get along with people. And so going to see places that are completely different or outside of your comfort zone is probably one of the most impactful things that I have experienced in my life growing up. And I would highly recommend, if you either go travel to a place, if you have the opportunity, or even to do an exchange student program, if you have the opportunity to do it, to really give you some perspective. It really has helped me to work on myself and become more tolerant of myself, and thus become more tolerant of other people. It's really just, when you go to a place where you don't know anything, where you don't know the words, you don't know the language, and you don't know the customs, and you're forced to somewhat adapt so that you can get along. It's the idea of putting yourself into an uncomfortable situation. He taught me so much about how to play sports, and how to play fair, and how to be grateful for what I had, and just exposed me to a lot of positive elements to society and showed me really that there were different things that I could do to make my life better. Whether that was cooking healthier meals or, not eating sweets for breakfast or whatever, anything like that, he exposed me to it. And so I'm really, really grateful. If anybody sees this guy or knows who he is, send him my way. I've been looking for him for a while, and I feel really sad that I have lost touch with him. I would say that it helped that he was a little bit older than me, because he almost acted as an older brother, and so if I was behaving in a way that was not, people wouldn't really like being whiny, or he would say to me just politely, hey, or if I was doing something that wasn't clean or not washing my hands, or he was very clean, and so he exposed me to a lot of that as well, like, hey, maybe you should try to do things this way. And I'm forever grateful for having the experience of going to different places. Going to Israel with my church, I worked every second Sunday on Whidbey Island for a whole year, or for 8 months, helping to cook breakfast for them there, and they took half the price of my trip off. So I saved up money, the other half I saved up for myself through my jobs, and then my dad gave it to me as a graduation gift. It's like, hey, keep that money in your bank account. You've learned how to save, you've learned your lesson, and to go on this trip. Going to Israel was the second most beneficial thing that I ever did, seeing just how beautiful it was there, and going to all these different sites and seeing these, just having that feeling of something important was going on here, was just super, it helped to me to develop a sense of meaning in my life. So if you have the opportunity, even if it's just like going to another part of town, or going and meeting somebody that's completely different from you, it doesn't even have to be from another country, I highly recommend you do that whenever you can, especially when you're younger, to help develop some perspective for yourself. So I think that's the lesson, the end of the lesson for today, is be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and learn to be tolerant and try to learn from other cultures. I took a lot of things from different people that I met in different areas of the world and applied them to myself, like, oh, this could make me a little bit better, or like I said before, this could make me cleaner, or this could make me, more disciplined. And the way that the people in this area are doing this has been super beneficial for me. So I highly recommend to do an exchange program, or some sort of travel to another country and meet people and try to expose yourself to different cultures. It's super essential, I think, for life. So I think that's it. I don't think I have any more lecturing to do. I think we'll share stories as we go along. But other than that, let's jump into the game. And here we go. So we're definitely, I like to leave my headphones, honestly, to the side, because it's weird talking to yourself with big headphones on. I think I'll move to the earbuds as we move along. I do have a sense and a feeling that the show is kind of wrapping itself up. I think I might do 10 or 11 episodes. Oh, here we are. We already have some action going on here. Cool. Alright, so we're going to ban Yas, right? Oh no, I have to declare mine first, sorry. I'm not, we'll just be Soraka again. Someone's already banned Yas, so then we can ban Blitz. I like to ban Blitz because he's just kind of annoying.
Is a poor alternative.
These are all the players that low-level players like to use. Cool, none of our players got banned. Let's get into the game and see how it goes. One of the things that I remember about we used to call him Kats, K-A-T-S, because for some strange reason it was too hard to say his full name, but we used to call him Kats. He hated root beer and really anything sweet, because he didn't eat a lot of sugar, which I found quite interesting. And he, for some reason, just didn't like meatloaf, just wasn't interested in meatloaf at all, but did love burgers. I took 2 years of Japanese from a private person that just happened to live down the street from my house in South Whitby, where I spent the last 4 years of school, to try to communicate, and the language is really tough. They have 3 different alphabets, and it was quite challenging. I've forgotten most of it, but I remember the challenge itself being quite enjoyable to go along with and to embark on that. I just found it as an interesting thing that instead of taking Spanish like everyone else did, I took Japanese. In hindsight, I probably should have learned Spanish because it would have been more practical, especially since I worked in kitchens for such a long time. I also, for some reason, I remember that he got very car sick. I remember the first time that I got perspective on the time I had done something that was kind of unclean. Like we were at a restaurant in Japan, and I was there with their family, and there were these cool toothpicks, and I had pulled one out to look at it, and then I put it back in the container because I was 12 or 13 years old probably when I was over there, and no one else would use one. And I remember asking him, why is nobody willing to use one? And they're like, well, we don't know which one you touched. You should be more careful about being clean. And so there were things like that I found to be, actually, I was willing to accept certain levels of criticism and then work on those things. And I found those things to be quite interesting, like something I just hadn't really thought of, hadn't really been brought to my attention, Well, I'm just going to, where are we at? 88%. I'm just going to minimize this really quick. Just want to make sure that my screen is set up here correctly so that I don't just play this game and already at 100%. All right. No, I just want to open up the window. It doesn't appear that it's going to let me open it up, but I really just want to make sure that, there we go. Just want to make sure that as I'm filming this, that I've switched into the right screen. Alright, I do like Civ, playing with somebody that plays as Civ. I can't believe this is just not going to let me minimize it. Alright. Well, that's an interesting Civ. Alright, let's see what happens.
I lend my aid.
Okay. People seem to be being quite pleasant.
The whole world in balance.
Got him. Oh, we're doing good right now. Okay.
New step, new journey.
Oh, man.
To heal and protect.
Civ got it over. Civ got overzealous here. Alright, so
Where am I needed?
Has been slain.
Never waste a breath.
got him. Good. We're doing good right now.
I heed their call.
Good job, guys. Alright. It's a good time for me to go back and buy something. I want to thank everyone just every time. I've been really working, cultivating my community and doing what I can to build up people, exposing what I'm working on in front of people, and it hasn't let me down. Definitely has been really enjoyable to hear week over week people's feedback and people's, you know, it's nice to see that video over video people are sticking around, even though I do wish that people were engaging more with the content. I think that it's nice that people are still watching the videos, so, and offering feedback. Alright, here's Vigar here.
This is my path.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Alright.
I lend my
Alright, here we go. We'll get some action here.
every step, a new journey.
Keep it in full health.
To heal and protect.
Oh, these guys are almost out of. These guys are definitely out of mana. Come on, man. He's got no. I wasn't paying attention to my character there, but
Never waste a breath.
it's like I gave you an opportunity. It was a bad death on my part. I wasn't even really watching my character very much.
I heed their call.
Alright,
The peace of mind.
back it up. Alright guys, let's see what's gonna happen here. This guy's coming in at the bottom. Alright. There's some good stuff there.
This is my path.
Oh man.
By the power of the stars.
Let's go get the tower, guys.
Enemy killing spree.
Alright.
Such hatred in their hearts.
Alright, we're doing good. Oh man.
My aim.
Gotta attack that tower, kid.
The whole world in balance.
Okay.
Enemy double kill.
Oh man. This is just not looking good for us at all right now.
Where am I needed?
An enemy has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
I might have to switch. I always start to feel this way whenever I play these games where I'm playing a more passive hero. I always feel like I should switch
Never
to
waste a breath.
being more aggressive hero so I would have more of an impact.
What must be done?
Okay.
I heed their call.
Okay. We're still doing well. Let's send some help, please.
An ally has been slain.
Get him.
Has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
Oh man, I'm rocking
An
it right
enemy
now.
has been slain.
I'm doing well right now.
This is my path.
I think there's actually a little bit of lag, but still.
Violence cannot go unanswered.
overextended.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Alright, we're building our items here, guys.
The whole world in balance.
An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. An enemy has been slain.
Yeah, that wall thing is actually really... I don't think it was in range. See how far away this dude's going. Look at that, kids.
They will go no further.
Oh, this guy clearly has... Everybody gets too excited. You know, just relax. Just try not to die too much.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
We can win.
I heed their call.
Shut down.
Okay, we push that tower. We should shift over now and try to get the other towers. Okay. They seem to be going that way. Okay, we're doing good so far. Good, good.
This is my path.
Alright, guys. Let's see what we're gonna do here.
Shut down.
Okay, we're gonna heal that guy up. It's been getting some action has been happening here.
Rampage. Shut down.
Okay, let's try to give Talon a little bit of health. So far so good, guys. Okay, I think this is actually a win for us. That's why I find this game so enjoyable, is that anything can happen. The games are always interesting. So many character combinations that you can use in this game. It's always once we get past the essential items that I forget what to do here. Aggressive, we just do this. Here. Mark ability, magic resist. I'll just build that item there. Oh, it looks like Cho'Gath decided to come back. Don't know exactly where to go here, but we're going to try to go over here. Protect my friend Sid at the bottom. It seems that we seem to have recovered mid-game. It was looking pretty bad there for a while.
I heed their call.
Drop some wards down so we can kind of see what's going on, so we get an idea of what's going on. Okay, back up, back up. We're trying to get the angle. I got a little bit too close. Alright. I don't have any health left, I have to go back.
Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job here, actually, holding it down, all things considered.
A new journey.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Shut down. Killing spree.
Oh, these guys spin back and forth.
Rampage.
Where am I needed?
Alright, here comes Civ. Civ's coming back. They did a lot of damage with that solo push there.
Never waste a breath.
Okay, Yi's doing really well. This is the guy we're concerned about right here. Been kind of relaxed and in the zone today a little bit more, so I'm sorry if I'm not as talkative. No, my childhood wasn't the most pleasant of childhoods, but it also wasn't terrible. And I think having a Japanese exchange student, meeting Katsuhiro was one of the top 10 most impactful things in my life, like I said. Oh look, she's gone. I was not paying attention for like 1 second. This guy is just... he's just so powerful. He's 18-8, my goodness. We really are just gonna have to focus trend here. Otherwise, he's just gonna continue wiping out our whole team. And we won't be able to beat him unless we're near towers, I don't think. Alright, let's see. We're gonna go up here. We're gonna drop some boards down so we can see. Go. Back to health. Back to health. Back to full health. Good job. I feel like I'm doing my job right now. Trend again. Trying to get away. Alright, we're going to try to get back to base. Alright guys, somehow, some way, we're still in this game. Guys. Okay, well, I think that maybe we can... Okay. Wow, somehow we have one guy of our own that's doing what he needs to do. Okay, then we'll just start going for armor next.
The whole world in balance. Every step, a new journey.
Let's look at their healths. Alright, we're doing well.
To heal and protect.
Oh my gosh, this guy's so insane. Good job. I think that was actually a win for us, even though it shouldn't have been. You can see down here in the corner who's dead and who's alive. 3-2, that's good.
Double kill.
Got him.
Aced.
Got all 5. Good.
Where am I needed?
I actually think I would have survived too if I had, I think I would have survived as well if I had just not gone to silence him, even though the silencing him didn't even do anything. We're just going to stay here. We're going to help push out the lanes. Okay, they're all 5 back alive. I'm coming back here to the mid. If you're ever confused about what's going on in a game, you can always look at the mini-map here. You can see my picture right there. Sorry for the noise, there's a plane flying over our house. They built a new airport up north, so... Or they opened that new airport up north, so...
Has been slain. Double kill. Your inhibitor is restoring. Has been slain.
Okay, let's see where these guys are going. I should drop down my wards again, just to have them out. Kind of get an idea of where everyone is. I should spend them.
Killing spree.
I win my aim.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Nicely done. Good job, we got away.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Alright, let's see what's going on here.
To heal and protect.
An ally has been slain. Double kill.
Alright, you guys are doing good. Just trying to keep my distance so I don't die. Alright, they're staying there. Dropping wards. Looks like trend is shifting over here to the middle.
For peace of mind. This is my path.
Okay, we're doing a good job rotating, I would say. Okay, Master Yi. This is a long match, so we're only really going to have time for one game. Just go get it, man. Just go get it. Hi, how are you? Daddy's just finishing up in here. Hi, what's going on? Did you get yourself up and get dressed? Hi. Alright, why don't you head downstairs and then we'll get ready to go outside in just a couple minutes, okay? What? I'll see you in just a minute, okay? I got like 2 more minutes left. Alright, here we are. We're gonna finish up. That was my son. He just got up from his nap, which is normally an active. Alright. Which way are they gonna try to run? We're just gonna go for the victory here, I think, guys. Boost, go for the win here. won. Look at that. It was good. That was a fun game. That was exciting. And on that note, it was a nice, calm, relaxing episode. Thank you for watching. I hope you got some value out of this. And I will talk to you guys next time. Thank you. Be kind.